What did you take away from hearing Todd Meacham and excuse me?
I do that all the time.
And yeah, no, that was definitely going to happen at least once here. But what did you take away from hearing Meacham and Grantham talk this past week here for the first time in front of the press and the media?
Yeah, it was interesting. Like if they were reading you the phone book, you would be able to tell who is the defensive coordinator and who is the offensive coordinator. I thought that was super fun. Grantham is more kind of like not coach speak in a bad way, but he's this is what we're trying to do, X, Y, and Z. Whereas Meacham, he was like likening the quarterback room to a peach field. And he's asked like what kind of players he likes, and he said big and fast. Like it was just like a little more like free flowing almost out of Meacham. So I thought that was really interesting. I thought it was all pretty super interesting. Grantham said they're going to be multiple on defense, which I think has been a little bit of a question. Went from Jim Knowles 4-2-5 to this Brian Nardo 3-3-5. It sounds like it's going to base at a 4-3, but they're going to be able to do a little bit more things out of that with Grantham. So I thought that was super interesting. He mentioned we talked a little bit before the pod that it was harder to kind of scheming for teams is harder in college than it is in the NFL. And what he meant by that is first of all tempo. He said whenever he was in the NFL and people would say, hey, they play fast, he'd look at them and go, you guys should go to college. They play really fast down there. And then also just like formation wise, there's a lot more different things that kind of college teams do than NFL teams. NFL teams, it's like it's a copycat league. That's kind of even the same for college, but it's the highest level of athlete. So you're doing the most efficient formations and the most efficient things like that. So everybody to an extent sort of does around the same stuff. The Lions got crazy this year, but so I think that's kind of more so what he's talking about there, where you'll get one team that does something completely different than the other team in college, and that's maybe a little bit more hard to scheme up for. So I thought all that was super interesting. I thought just Meacham in general isn't that interesting. Meacham got asked about Haas Haney, the quarterback transfer from TCU. Obviously, Meacham was at TCU as well. He didn't just name him the starter. I don't think that was expected at all. Very much said as an open competition. It's going to be the guy that can figure it all out and be the most efficient in the room. So I thought that was super interesting. And then him likening to the peach field. I think he said something along the lines of you can when you go to a peach field, you can pick them up off the ground or you can take them off the tree. And with all these guys being so inexperienced, it's like taking them off the tree and you can kind of form it to how you want it. So I thought it was a nice thing.